Hello everybody, it is on. It is Brony time and welcome back to Dual Destinies. When we last left off, we talked about the situations of the case. Junie was arrested, we met her friends, and, well, now we're in the middle of a mock trial going over exactly what was going on. So, we're gonna continue and get right into it. Let's see here. When I arrived at our meeting place, I found the professor with an arrow in her stomach. But it wasn't me. I didn't kill her. You don't have to ham it up like that, Athena. It's called getting into character, Air Foreheads. Don't be such a wet blanket. Right, let's see. Oh yeah, then you said a frail co-ed used her bare hands to stab a professor with an arrow. I don't think so. At the time of the murder, a male student was seen, holding a bow in the archery club, which has a clear view of the quad. He shot the arrow into the victim before my client even got there. 9-9, Air Forehead. That faint swagger does not suit you in the least. Order, order, order! Especially you, Mr. Justice. Me? I was just trying to get into it like Mr. Eurorocker said. So the victim was shot from the archery club room before the meeting even took place. Hence, the defendant could not be the killer. That seems to be the defense's assertion. Prosecutor Gavin, do you have any objections? The autopsy report notes that the edges of the victim's rooms were unusually ragged. Could such physical trauma possibly result from an arrow shot from a bow? 9. I believe the victim was impaled with the arrow by hand, post-mortem. In short, the real murder weapon was not the arrow at all. When Robin was prosecutor, he had a tough time determining the real murder weapon. Well, he's just a student, a warm-up act. While I am the real deal, the headliner, so to speak. The true murder weapon was most likely the awl that was left in the art room. An awl? What's that? An awl, you say? What might that be? It's kind of a tool used for poking holes in the paper, woods, and other materials. It's kind of like an ice pick. I have a photo here if you're interested. Gross. It's all bloody up the handle. Please tell me it's just paint. Most likely, Fraulein. Pretty realistic, yeah? Let's pretend it's real blood for now. The defendant prints were lifted from the murder weapon. Furthermore, traces of the victim's blood were discovered in the art room. That's where I believe the murder actually took place. So the question now is, how did the body get from the art room to the stage? The murder took place in the third floor art room, but the body was found in the quad. Must have been quite a chore moving the body all that way. Not at all. There's a maintenance area and storehouse right outside the art room. And a cart used to carry balls around was found in there. Oh, I think I've seen one of those before, but that's a pretty big one. A jumbo, yeah? Big enough to fit a person, or a body, in it. The defendant dropped the body from the art room windows and moved it with the cart. That is how a high school girl could easily move a body all by herself. You don't say! A body dropped from 3 stories up? World shows up with signs of massive blunt force trauma. That may be true, but you failed to account for the large high jump mat in the storehouse. A body dropped onto such a mat would show no signs of blunt force trauma. Yikes, it's almost scary how similar this whole case is to the mock trial proceedings. Quite the crafty killer, in an attempt to cast suspicion on the archery club. They moved the body to the quad where it would be easy shot from the club room. Then the killer faked the murder weapon by inserting an arrow into the all stab wound. Sounds like he has only high praise for Junie's script. Were there any further arguments from the defense? Nope. Seemed like the teacher who was playing the judge was satisfied too. Time for the finale then. Your verdict, if you please, Fraulein Judge. All right, that's me. Very well, this court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods. Wait a second. Even if this is just a mock trial of a mock trial, I don't want to declare Junie guilty. Yeah, perhaps that's not such a good idea. Let's end our mock trial here. Besides, it's about time I get back to my investigation. Thanks, you two. That little run-through of the mock trial cleared up quite a few things. Achtung, baby! The prosecution's already got a witness sized up too. That was quick. Prosecutor Blackwell's almost too good. You're sure in a helpful mood today, Prosecutor Gavin. Well, like I said, I just want to catch whoever killed Professor Coates. And there's no reason for me to start butting heads with you two. Anyway, I won't say goodbye, as I'm sure I'll be seeing you later. I always thought prosecutors were all a rather scary bunch, but Prosecutor Gavin seems pretty nice. Yeah, he's not so bad as prosecutors go. We should get back to investigating too. Don't have nearly enough information yet. We also have to tell Mr. Wright that we accepted Junie's case. Right, looks like we have our work cut out for us. Okay, yeah. I figure we just needed to move. Ah, Mr. Wright! I heard they arrested your friend, Juniper. Yeah, Detective Fulbright just took her in. I refuse to believe that one of our students is capable of murder. We must prove her innocence by any means necessary. The ends justify the means. What do you mean, the end justifies the means? I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say by all means. Here at our esteemed academy, we train our students to produce meaningful results. You believe in Juniper's innocence, do you not? Of course I do. Junie wouldn't even hurt a fly. Precisely. We have justice on our side. The only other thing we need are results. It is the height of folly to endanger your client by failing to pursue all means possible. Sure I want to prove her innocence, but I don't like the sound of that and the end justifies the means part. This guy definitely did it. Well, you're still young and idealistic. It's no wonder you fail to see the wisdom therein. There is but one thing to do now. I must personally take up Juniper's defense. You're going to take her case, Professor Means? I may be a professor, but I am still licensed to practice law. In fact, I've even battled Professor Corton, well, in court. No kidding. So you guys were rivals or something? No, nothing of the sort. She was an esteemed colleague at the academy and in court. You see, both Professor Court and I graduated from this academy at the top of our class. Wow, I bet they used to really bring it. Now, if you would excuse me, I had best go discuss the case with Juniper. Professor Means, please write. I didn't want to say anything, but Paulo and I already agreed to take her case. It's true. Juniper is counting on us to prove her innocence. Really now? You too? And when were you planning on telling me? Sorry, boss. I know we should have asked first, but... Relax. Your friend was just hauled away in front of your eyes. Sometimes you just have to make snap decisions. And I think you made the right one. How wonderful. Very well, Athena Sykes. Let me ask you just one thing. As a lawyer, what is that you treasure beyond all else? That's an easy one, Professor. Seeking justice for my clients. What a wonderful answer. Juniper must be overjoyed to have a friend such as you. As her professor, I too shall do whatever I may to help her. And if you decide to take the end justifies the means strategy, come see me at once. Let's hope it never comes to that. Now, if you would excuse me. Well, time's a-wasting. Better start investigating fast. But first, how about I tell you everything I know so far? Yes, please. Have you learned anything new about the case? Actually, I ran into Prosecutor Gavin and he told me something interesting. Seems the murder took place in the art room. There's traces of a large pool of blood there. So the police believe the body was moved from there to the stage. What? Really? Just like the mock trial again. The police are searching the art room, but whether they'll find anything, well... Well, what? Come to think of it... Let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here. Huh? Are we even allowed to do that? It's no big deal as long as we leave it exactly as we found it. Plus, no. Never mind. Now, where was I again? There's really no need to talk about it right here, right now. I want you two to find out for yourselves. So, were you shocked by your conversation with Professor Means? Oh, I guess so. Actually, that was pretty shocking. The Dark Age of the Law. I'm sure you've heard those words before. Sure, a number of times. Prosecutors file false charges and lawyers fight back by fabricating evidence. There's a lot of that going around these days. But the question is, how is it related to the case at hand? Training students to produce results. That is the school's policy. Well, that in and of itself isn't a bad thing. Right. As long as those results come by fair and honest means. Oh, but that was it what Professor Means said. The end justifies the means? To survive the Dark Age of the Law, you must use any means necessary. Fabrication of evidence and false charges are unavoidable in the quest for results. That's what they're preaching here at Themis Legal Academy. But what'll happen to our legal system if results are all that matter anymore? Relax. It's just a rumor. I'd take it with a grain of salt if I were you. Oh, that's a relief. You had me going there for a minute. Wait a second. What if Mr. Wright examined the victim's body for a reason? Maybe he's worried someone might actually tamper with the evidence. I think that about wraps up what I know so far. The fact that this case closely resembles Miss Wood's script is obviously important. Knowing that, you should probably try and identify what's the same and what's different. Okay, I'll try talking to as many people as I can on campus. Excuse me? I thought that area was cordoned off. Hey, the police are discussing something over there. Oh, I know. I'll just quietly sneak over for a listen. Here goes. Ah, Athena, watch where you're... Huh? Eek! Ouch! Put the stupid box here. Wait. Eek! Apollo, this box, there's... What now? There's someone or something inside. Don't let it be a snake! Morons just blew my cover. What the? There really is someone inside. That someone is me, Miriam Scuttlebutt. And I'm a senior in the judge course. What's with the box? It's the fate of we who live in the shadow. Why do I keep going through a mix of all these different voices? I'm sorry. It's the fate of us who live in the shadows. It's a very good reason why none see my face by the light of day. Wait, if you're talking to the judge course, did you write a mock trial script too? You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Who cares? I'm sure it was rejected for a good reason. Anyway, I forgot to do something in the hallway. We'll be back, Miriam, don't you worry. Things like that sure scream out school days, don't they? Are you involved in any extracurricular activities like school papers or mock trials? Nah, that wasn't my thing. I was an art major. An art major? Then how did you become a famous attorney? Attorney? What the hell? Attorney? It's kind of complicated, and when I say kind of, I mean really, really complicated. Play Trials and Tribulations to find out. Oh. He must really mean it. I'm picking up a lot of complex emotions in his voice. Yay! Anyway, back to what we were doing. Oh, so you're studying to be a judge too? You must be classmates with Juniper. Are you a friend of hers? Juniper? Sure, she's my friend. That's why I'm gathering info. Now tell me all you know. You know, for tomorrow's trial. For tomorrow's trial? What are you talking about? I'm going to take the stand. Naturally. So the witness for the prosecution is some weirdo in a cardboard box? This disguise is how I get my scoops. But you're right, it's me. So tell me everything you know for Juniper's sake. Wait a second, Miriam. Repeat what you just said. A lawyer with brains as bad as his ears. Poor Juniper. Tell me everything you know, for Juniper's sake. Clear enough for you this time? Oh, are we bringing in, like, all the different mechanics again? For this case? I thought so, Athena. My bracelet's reacting. Really? A lie already? That was quick.
Gotcha!
That's strange. You suddenly tightened your grip when you said that. For Juniper's sake. It's like you subconsciously tensed up because you're lying. What are you talking about? When did I ever lie? Okay, then let me ask you this. Why were you selected as a witness? That's an easy one. I'm the editor-in-chief of the famous Herald. I know everything there is to know around campus, even the darkest secrets. Editor-in-chief, huh? Pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it's a lonely one-woman operation. I do it all myself, from reporting to editing to publishing. Still impressed? I'm a perfect storm of journalism because I bring it all to the table. And this is the evidence here.
Excuse me?
An extra edition of the famous Herald, published to coincide with the mock trial.
Thanks, Miriam. You revealed who you truly are. Someone who's never had Junie's best interests in mind.
What? Are you questioning our friendship?
Look, you may want answers, but no can do, because what you're saying conflicts with this piece of evidence.
Take that! That's the famous Herald, the paper I published. What about it? Are you really that dense?
This article is full of malicious lies about Junie. It's definitely not something a true friend of hers would write.
Yuck. You've got it all wrong. Another staff member wrote that one.
I don't think so, Miriam. You even said it yourself just a moment ago. It's a one-woman operation. Or did you forget already?
If you'd just given me the info you have. Stupid pawn. Juniper's just using you.
Now I want the truth, Miriam. You hide in your box in order to collect gossip for your sleazy paper, isn't that right? You're not really friends with Juniper, are you?
No, duh. She's the target of my scoops, and my readers demand dirt. Extra, extra! The dirty little secret of the squeaky clean student council president.
Dirty little secret? Alright, what are you planning to say in court, huh?
I'm a witness to her part in the crime. I'm going to tell it all in a shocking expose. The end justify the means. That's my brand of tell-all journalism.
Ah, so... Uh-huh.
The end justifies the means? Wait a second.
So it's not a rumor.
In this dark age of the law, many of us must embrace Professor Mean's methods, even future judges. I've even adopted an end justifies the means brand of journalism, which includes tape recorders secretly in all over our campus, secretly recording every last word without anyone being any the wiser. Doesn't you realize that's totally illegal? And one of them was at the scene of the crime, the art room.
You put a tape recorder in the art room. What did it record?
You wanna know? You really wanna know? Yes, please. That's so nice of you to... Like I'd really tell you now. The big scoop comes out in court tomorrow.
You're so mean, Miriam.
According to my evidence, a fatal fissure had opened between the three of them.
Who, Junie, Hugh, and Robin? And what do you mean by fatal fissure?
Juniper, Hugh, and Robin used to be the best of friends.
Used to be? They still seem to get along fine to me. I did sense some discord, though.
You don't know anything. Professor Means has his followers and Professor Court had hers. Their influence is inescapable.
Are you implying that one of them adheres to that extreme idea you and Professor Means have? Or why would anyone follow that philosophy?
How could you possibly understand? You're new around here.
Miriam, wouldn't you feel better if you came out of the dark and into the light?
I can see fine in here. You'll be the one seeing the light in court tomorrow. Then you'll realize how guilty Juniper Woods really is.
Yeah, she's a snake, is basically what this is.
Ugh, we're going to have to cross-examine her tomorrow, but I don't know where to start.
Well, let's at least take care of whatever we can today.
You're right. Let's see what else we can find out.
Look, there's Hugh! Hey, Hugh! It's you two. Do you want something? Did you find anything? You said you were going to do some investigating of your own. Nope, nothing yet. I'm afraid it's not looking very good for Juniper. You don't really think Juniper could have done something like this, do you? Only the author and the victim knew the contents of the script. Both the stage and the art room were in the exact same state as described therein. Nobody could mimic the crime like that unless they'd already read the script, or wrote it. But, look, Professor Means is better able to handle this than you two. So just leave it to him. There it is again. I'm picking up some discord in Hugh's voice. Hugh, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself? Heh, whatever. I'm 6'1" and under this uniform I'm 100% lean muscle. My grades are outstanding and I'm the ace of the archery club. Needless to say, I never miss my mark. Oh, and I'm incredibly humble too. You can even say that with a straight face. Those around me call me a genius, but I pay them no mind. But when it comes to tests, I always get 100%. So I suppose it's only natural for them to say I'm a genius. But as I said before, I pay them no mind. I heard you the first time. But what about the mock trial? It sounded like you were about to lose to Robin. There's a very good reason for that. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. You saw the body! Right, and I was so distraught that I basically handed Robin a victory. Hugh, would you mind telling us a little more about that? He was sweating there. Right before the mock trial, the campus was empty. Everyone was here in the lecture hall. All students and faculty, please proceed at once to the lecture hall. That's right. There was that announcement, and then everyone came here. The only exceptions were the mock trial participants. Juniper, Robin, and I were in our personal dressing rooms next door. Wow, your own personal dressing rooms. That's total VIP treatment. Actually, they're for student-teacher meetings. They don't even have windows. The other two waited patiently in their rooms, but that's not my style. So I headed over to the archery range on the other side of the quad. I did some mediation while I waited. That's the best way to relax. Then, just before the mock trial was to start, I headed back toward the main building. As I walked across the quad, I passed in front of the stage. So that's when you saw the body. Right. It was quite a shock. As much as I hate to admit it, my legs were shaking. I could have easily beaten Robin if it hadn't been for that. Wait, hold it right there. You went through with the mock trial even though you had just discovered a body? Why didn't you tell anyone? I mean, we're talking about someone getting killed here. I think I know why. Was it because of this? Ah, where'd you get that? So, this article in the famous Herald is true. The winner of the mock trial would get to make his confession to Junie. Right, but if I reported the body I'd found, the whole thing would have been called off. He really wanted to win that bad. Bad enough to ignore a dead body? Sorry, but that's not normal. Or could their love for Junie really be that strong? Thanks for sharing that important piece of information with us. It may prove useful at tomorrow's trial. Good, because that's all I have to say about the matter. Thanks, and don't worry, we'll prove Junie's innocence. You'll see. Heh, can't say you two inspire much confidence. Okay, Athena, what next? Well, next, we have to end this part here because we're at time. But okay, so the whole love triangle thing with Judy is probably true. That confirms it, though him being at the archery range would put him under... Well, no, the murder is actually the art room, so never mind. He's not under suspicion, but he kind of is, because how else would someone get an arrow? I guess Junie might be able to do it, but who knows? We're still too early in the case. But some of my theories are correct, but it was staged. The body wasn't originally from there, and she was originally stabbed with a pick. So that'll be it. But thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe at any time for more content, especially more Dual Destinies. Also, make sure to share this video far and wide so we can reach as many eyeballs as possible. I will see you all in the next part.